Donald Trump calls himself a man of the people, but he had his whole life handed to him on a silver platter. He wouldn't know what it is like to make less than $25,000 a year and still keep a roof overhead and a family fed. He does not understand the sacrifices that are made just to survive in the world today. Donald Trump would call most of us uneducated losers, or more accurately, uneducated suckers. Donald Trump's advisor and one-time campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, is an international consultant of the slimiest order, having worked for some of the sleaziest pro-Russian dictators on the planet. Manafort doesn't have a problem getting paid under the table for his lobbying efforts on behalf of those corrupt gentlemen. Trump's whole campaign is a tangled web of lies and half-truths. He surrounds himself with advisors like Roger Stone, a professional liar with a history of using threats and other unethical means against political opponents. Of course, Donald Trump needs men like these to pull off one of his biggest scams to date. It makes Trump University look like a kid's game by comparison. Donald Trump's entire life is built on lies. Everywhere he goes, he leaves behind a trail of ruined American lives who bought into those lies. Good people just trying to make a better life for themselves, who made the mistake of believing in Donald Trump, and Trump University, only to lose everything they had with nothing to show for it except a picture of a Donald cardboard cutout. Trump doesn't care about the little guy, he doesn't care about the people, Trump only cares about himself and the money he can make off the suckers. Trump's economic plan looks good on the surface, but look a little deeper and you see Trump and his rich buddies are the ones that are the real beneficiaries of the Trump economic plan. It lowered the tax rate for corporations, which will benefit Trump's some 200 corporations where he hides all his money. Trump's current bank, the Deutsche Bank in Germany, is the main bank used by countries to avoid UN and US sanctions and has been caught manipulating markets around the world, as it attempted to influence the US government. The Deutsche Bank is the bank where upper-crust criminals go for money when they can't get money anywhere else. The Deutsche Bank is pretty much backed by Russian money. You can be sure that Russia will want a return on its investment in Donald Trump. Trump denying Americans jobs they need is a recurring theme with Trump. At his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, he rejected hundreds of applications from Americans only to bring in hundreds of Romanian guest workers to fill job slots that should have gone to Americans, and that is just one of his resorts. Now, repeat that at most of his other resorts and you begin to see the lie when he claims to have created thousands of jobs for non-Americans. Even if his claim to have created tens of thousands of jobs is accurate, they certainly were not jobs in this country, as most of his products are made somewhere other than the USA. Trump continues his lies that do nothing more than inflate his ego. His claim to have built great structures, most of which have been remodel jobs, is one of those half-truths he tells. Trump Tower was built by mafia contractors using poorly paid Polish immigrants, an issue Trump claimed he had no knowledge of. Of course, that is a bit like not knowing what a white supremacist is, another Trump statement that is hard to believe in this day and age. At least he didn't stiff the mafia the way he did other contractors and the craftsmen that worked on his casinos. Of course, the lies didn't stop. He shafted his investors too. When his casinos went bankrupt, Trump walked away with millions. He called it a good business deal. The investors called it something else, highway robbery. Donald Trump's presidential campaign of lies and made-up facts that he hopes his uneducated supporters will believe, because he is betting on nobody in the country follows current affairs closely enough to know the truth or a lie if they heard it. Trump would have us believe President Obama and Hillary Clinton founded ISIS. The fact is President Bush, a Republican, is the one who invaded Iraq looking for non-existent weapons of mass destruction, a lie fostered on the American people and the world. And it was Bush who set the stage for every whack job who wanted to fight invading crusaders to come shoot Americans. From there, Al-Qaeda, a very small jihadist group, began to grow and rapidly spread branches throughout the region. The foundation of ISIS was set in 1999, Obama assumed the office of the president in 2009, 10 years later. It was the Syrian civil war that gave them the chance to flourish and grow and become what is known as ISIS today. These are simple facts Donald Trump will simply not believe or acknowledge, or more insidious, keep his supporters from knowing the truth, because the lie he is telling is a good soundbite at the campaign rallies he holds. Donald Trump has no interest in the truth. He says whatever he feels will rile and inflame his supporters, the truth be damned. For Donald Trump it is the cheering audience he craves, it is like a drug for him. Donald Trump is a billionaire, tax cheat, and a blue-collar criminal surrounded by other criminals and professional liars, financed by a bank used by crooks and dictators and backed by Russian money. It is a network of crime that seeks to gain control of the highest government office in this country. Trump claims to be a billionaire and he may be one, but has yet to prove it. His 2015 tax return could clear up or expose a lot of issues, yet, Trump steadfastly refuses to release a copy of his tax return. It begs the question, what is he hiding? The American people need to see his tax return on the off chance we could turn this country over to a band of criminals financed by Russia. Trump wants to bring us law and order, but in order to do that he would have to put an armed soldier on every street corner. And, to do that he would pretty much have to declare martial law. Donald Trump's plan would cost us our freedom of the press and our freedom of speech because he doesn't like to be criticized. Spying on and banning one religion is a short hop to spying on all of us and the loss of our right to privacy, and freedom of religion, and after that, the First Amendment would collapse. Trump doesn't give a damn about the people. Most of us he would look down upon in disgust and loathing, but he needs our vote so he will say anything, promise anything, to get that vote. As with the people who believed in him in the past, and got robbed of their dreams, Donald Trump will forget all about the people who supported him. The country, and the world, will become a darker, more dangerous place as Donald Trump and his band of criminals rape this country of its wealth, disassemble our world security apparatus, exposing all of Europe and this country to potential threats from Russia, and elsewhere. Trump and his bigotry could ignite a religious war that could envelop the world in an endless war, and if that were not enough, Trump would roll back environmental protection efforts decades, leaving our children a poisoned land to inherit and grow up in. No, Donald Trump is not a man of the people, he is in it for himself. Our goal is to protect the American people, and to defend and preserve our rights, and to fight to regain that which has been lost to the people through time. We are the New American Revolution freedom fighters.